Je vais essayer de faire une brève introduction en français. Pour moi, c'est un honneur d'être ici, dans le berceau mondial de la chirurgie du genou. Bravo à toutes, l'école de Lyon pour l'invitation et merci beaucoup. Bravo à toutes pour l'organisation et merci beaucoup pour l'invitation. I trained a lot of times to do this. I tried it the first time, but this time I think it was great. Thank you. Well, let's talk about different techniques for anterolateral reconstruction. You know, Brazilians are very creative. These are all publications from Brazil regarding anterolateral reconstruction. The most classic techniques are the ones published by Bertrand with double tibial tunnel, and the one we modified with a simple tibial tunnel, which I use in most of my cases. We drill a combined femoral tunnel posterior and proximal to the lateral epicondyle and a tibial tunnel around 5 millimeters distal to Gerdy's tubercle. And we drill this tibial tunnel freehand. It's easy to do. You just have to know the anatomical landmarks. And it is easy to see the guide wire in the same axis you use for the hamstring harvesting. It's important to mention that the fixation must be in full extension and neutral rotation. I will show you a brief animation regarding how we do before showing the surgery. So we start harvesting the grafts. We harvest the semi-T and the gracilis. We put the semi-T in a triple configuration. If we fold it in three. And then we attach the gracilis, and normally with this configuration we get around 9 millimeters diameter and 9 centimeters in length. Then we do the femoral tunnel. We do it outside in. The entry point, you have to control the entry point outside the joint and also the exit point inside the joint. We do it posterior and proximal to the lateral epicondyle. The tibial tunnel is pretty easy in the way you are all used to do. Then we fix the ACL with an outside-in screw, and then we fix the ACL in the tibia with an interference screw as well. After that, we drill the ALL tunnel, which is around 10 millimeters posterior to Gerdy's, and we go deep to the IT band, but superficial to the LCL, and we fix the ALL in full extension. Can you pass the next slide, please? I will show you. Oh, yeah, this one, please. Okay, thank you. So we harvest the graft. We prepare it. One tip to prepare the graft is that the gracilis that will be alone, it's important to prepare it with a high resistance suture, because you're going to put a screw, and as the gracilis is a little thin, you have to protect the graft. When we started to do that, I damaged the graft a few times, so it's important to be aware of that. Then the graft is prepared. This one was a 10, if I'm not mistaken. So the ACL part is pretty easy. You all know how to do it. We do an access posterior and proximal to the lateral epicondyle. This is the regular tibial guide. You can use any guide to do the outside in tunnel. I normally put it close to the anteromedial bundle of the ACL. This is the femoral tunnel. Then the tibial tunnel, you do the way you are used to do. If it's possible to preserve the remnant, I think it's a good idea. This is the tibial tunnel. Then we pass the graft. We do the fixation. The femoral fixation first with an outside-in screw, then the tibial fixation of the ACL, and then you do a small access and you drill a freehand tunnel that is around 10 millimeters posterior to Gerdy's tubercle, and you pass the graft deep to the ITB but superficial to the lateral collateral ligament, and you do the ALL fixation. Can you pass this slide, please? Okay. This is the technique developed by Bertrand with 2 tibial tunnels. I think it's a very good technique as well. It's possible to do without any fixation material. So if you're used to do this combined tibial tunnel, I think it's a good option too. You can do a separate anterolateral ligament reconstruction. I use it rarely for isolated ACL reconstructions after an ACL reconstruction that is not functioning properly. We have a large series that is about to be published. This is an interesting option, but for primaries, I normally use the combined tunnel. But this is a courtesy of my friend Etienne Cavignac that uses the ALL reconstruction separate from the ACL. And we were in doubt if both techniques could work, so we compared the results, and the results were the same, so you can use any technique. And, you know, all these techniques were published in VJSM. Fortunately, we won this ACL Study Group Award. We were very happy in Japan. And also, as I showed you, you can use the new graft possibilities. This is one case we did ACL plus ALL with the rectus femoris graft. I think this is an option too. This is the graft, and we harvest this way, and we prepare a double graft for the ACL, and the remaining portion we leave for the ALL. It's a very similar preparation as we use for the hamstrings, but only with one graft, because as you saw in the last presentation, the graft is pretty big, and you can use it for both reconstructions. You can go next slide, please. Merci beaucoup.